full name is, you go by Bobby?
Yeah. Bobby Ray Bighorn is my full name.
I'm sorry?
Bobby Ray Bighorn
Big Horse.
Senior.
Okay, this is December 20th,
Right.
1988. And my name is Joe Todd, and this is an interview with Mr. Bobby Ray Big Horse Senior, and we're in Oklahoma City.
Is it on now?
Yeah.
Is it ready? Oh.
Anything you want to say before we start?
Other than you know that my memory's not that good, and I might down the line I might think of something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sir, where were you born?
Clinton, Oklahoma.
Clinton, Oklahoma.
Clinton Indian Hospital.
And when's your birthday?
April 8th, 1939.
1939. Who is your father?
Fred Big Horse Senior.
Big Horse Senior. And your mother?
Laura White Turtle Big Horse.
And she was White Turtle before she married. Your parents both from Oklahoma?
Yeah.
Okay. They both Cheyenne?
Yeah.
So you're a pure blood?
Yeah, pure Cheyenne. Full
Okay.
blood Cheyenne. One of the few full blood left there.
And I'd like to start with some of the, I guess, organization of the Cheyenne tribe. Like you have a chairman and the
Yes,
committee.
that's the chairman of the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe at this present time. You talking about this present time?
Yeah.
The chairman of the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe is Juanita L. Lerner. She's a Arapaho.
No, are the Cheyenne-Arapaho more or less one tribal group now?
Yeah, they're considered one. There's two, but they're considered one. Two tribes are considered one tribe.
Is that elected post?
Yeah, they're all elected. They're elected
Has the
positions.
tribal chairman always been elected?
They're elected within. You know, everybody's elected as a group, and once the groups together, they elect their chairman, their vice chairman, their secretary, and on down the line.
How many in this group?
Well, there used to be 15 at one time, but they made a change over to 8, and out of that 8, there's a chairman that comes out of that, and the secretary, and vice chairman, and on down the line.
And each one of these 8, how many Indians does each person represent?
There's 8 districts, 4 Cheyenne, 4 Arapaho.
And these districts are located
In our checkerboard jurisdiction from Canadian County all the way to Texas line, which includes Canadian, Kingfisher, Blaine, Dewey, Washita, Roger Mills, Beckham, Custer.
Which district are you in?
Custer.
Okay. Now, do you still live in the Clinton area?
Yes, partially. Here in Oklahoma City, but I've lived a big part of my life here.
Okay. Are there clans?
Yeah, there's a lot of clans, and the clan I actually belong to, I don't really know what clan I belong to, because I never did actually get into that, and I should have, but I'm not too sure, but I might belong to the Kid Fox clan, and I don't know what that is. You know, being a full blood Indian, I should know, but you know, I just don't. I don't know why, but I just don't.
What type of work did your father do?
He was a painter.
Painter. What? House painter? What?
Well, he learned his trade at the old CC camp that they used to have during came out of the Depression, part of the Depression, to train people to do various types of skills. They they taught him to be a painter. He worked at, well, he's a house painter, painter, tree painter, but he worked quite a bit of his time at Clinton Sherman. Used to be naval base at the time.
Is he still living?
No, he's deceased.
And when did the Cheyenne-Arapaho get together as one group?
In 1936. Well, they've always been together ever since way back many years ago, but as an organized government in 1936. Due to the Rogers, I can't remember the act, Rogers, some kind of act there, they got together.
I was going to ask, why did they get together as a tribe?
Well, for political protection. Well, you know, each tribe is a government within a government, you know. Even way back a long time ago, they had a government, although nobody never did say, well, here's the governor, and here's the chief of police, and here's the dog catcher, and here. The government's always been there, but there's never, you know, nobody ever did come and say, well, here's the chief, and here's the, you know, so. But the government's always been there, but I guess due to the government pressure, I guess, they formed in 1936. And I'm just taking a guess at that.
Yeah, okay. Have the Cheyenne Indians always been in this area?
Well, modern day Cheyennes always have been.
Okay, now what about the old days?
Well, they've traveled all over western north central United States. And from Minnesota to up into Canada and to the Dakotas. But the modern day Cheyenne-Arapaho have and do live in western Oklahoma.
Have you ever heard any stories of the old days, the old Cheyenne?
Oh, I've heard a bunch of them, but you know, like I said a while ago, I can't remember of any, but maybe on down further line, in this interview, I can't think of stuff like that.
What about Sand Creek Massacre?
Well, at this present time, I am the chairman of the Sand Creek Massacre. And that organization has been in existence for over 20, 25 years, I guess. And apparently, after the Sand Creek Massacre was over, the United States government came in and offered to pay the chiefs at the time, or the head leaders, or the people in charge at the time. They offered to pay them for their meals and the tents and the meat that they lost and different things like that. Offered to compensate them for that. And the chiefs, or the people in charge, told them they didn't want it. So understand now, this is what I was told. The chiefs at the time told them they didn't want it. So the United States government said, well, until you decide, we will put it in escrow. So this past November, it's been in escrow about 119 years or so. Whenever, I really don't know, but I'm just taking a guess at the date. Been in escrow for that number of years, and just another government thing, I guess. As far as the Sand Creek itself, it's I think it was one of the worst disasters that man has ever done to human beings other than Adolf Hitler, or compared to Adolf Hitler.
What happened there?
Well, supposedly Reverend Shevington, or Colonel Shevington, whatever you want to decide to call him, wanted to be president, or wanted to be, that was a political move. And although he had no authority, he done a lot of things that he had no authority to do, which included attacking the Cheyenne camp over there. And supposedly they were under a treaty with the United States government. But it didn't make him no difference. You know, he went over there and done it anyway. He made some people lead him there, under the barrel of the gun. You know, other than Adolf Hitler, or compared to Adolf Hitler. That was one of the greatest massacres.
Why did he do that? What was his object?
Well, from what he might have his own. He might have his own, but from what I can see, he wanted to be a president or a senator or something. He wanted to go higher in politics, you know. But what else could he have gained? What else could he have gained?
How many Indians were killed?
Oh, I can't remember, but there's. I can't remember just offhand how many were killed, but there was quite a few. Very few survivors. About 112, I think.
Survived?
Yeah, and you know today the Sand Creek Descendant. That's the organization I'm head of. There's about 114 or 112 or 113 actual descendants from that actually got away from that. And I myself is a descendant through two people, and that's a lady by the name of Red Woman, Big Al, and another one by Greasy Nose. Her name was Greasy Nose. That's all I know her by. They had to be little small children at the time.
Did you know them?
No. I mean, way before my time.
You ever hear any stories about Sand Creek? What happened there?
What?
Ever hear any stories about Sand Creek? About what happened?
Have I ever done any stories about it?
You know, have you heard any stories about the massacre there?
Yeah, I have, but like I say, you know, my memory's not that good, and I would have to kind of, you know, sometimes some people ask me things, and I won't think of it till I'm laying in bed about 10, 11 o'clock at night, and I remember, then it's too late, then I forget about it the next day. But I've heard some stories, you know. That's why a lot of the Cheyennes had ended up over at Hammond, Oklahoma. You know, that's why they're one of the largest concentrations of Cheyennes end up at Hammond.
Now, why did they go from Sand Creek to that area?
Well, they came down river, you know, and end up at Hammond. And another thing, the other cause of that was the Battle of Washita. A lot of them end up at Hammond. Why that? I don't know. They were just over there. And I've been in that camp before. It's been torn down since. You know, it's out there by the north of Hammond. They got their own water well, their own everything out there. It's a natural spring, what it is.
Now, when was Sand Creek? What was the date of that?
I can't remember that either. I just can't.
Because Washita was 1868.
Well, you know, Black Hill got away from Sand Creek, but they got him at that Battle of Washita. So it had to be before that date.
Yeah.
And how many months had elapsed in between? I don't know. But you know, during that time, the people were scared of Indians. Well, maybe they done it out of fear. You know, you ask why did he do that? Maybe he might have been scared of them. You know, nobody never did ask him. You know, like, if you're scared of something, you got a chance to do away with it. You know, do it. You know, at one time, the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe had the whole central United States blocked off by fear alone. You know, the Cheyennes could, something would happen way off somewhere, and it'd run everybody into town. The Cheyennes are out there, you know, Cheyennes couldn't stretch out that far. But, you know, just fear, strike fear, you know. I don't guess, to my knowledge, I don't think he ever told anybody what, you know, what are you going to gain out of this, or what's going to become of this. I mean, he could have been feared. He could have been afraid of them. Nobody ever knew. He didn't act like it, but people that are scared, they don't want to show anybody that they're scared. You know, go ahead.
Do you remember any stories that your mother told you when you were a small boy? Children's stories? Cheyennes?
Darn, she told us many stories. And darn, I can't remember.
Is she still living?
No, my mother passed on. And like I say, you know, what I should have done was thought about some of the things that she told me, but I didn't. It's been, you know, she told us a lot of stories. At night.
Do you speak the language, Cheyenne?
I used to. And one of the reasons why I don't is because I've been living here and I've been sitting for a great many years, and there's nobody to talk to. My wife don't talk to me. And, you know, we spend a lot of our time with our grandfolks. They spoke nothing but Cheyenne. So, naturally, we had to speak.
The Arapaho, what do they speak?
They speak Arapaho.
Arapaho. So the language is similar?
No, it's opposite, just completely opposite. Just day and night. I think it's just completely day and night.
Where did you start school?
I started school at Lincoln Elementary School in 19 something, I don't know, way many years ago.
That's in
Clinton.
Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay.
Started Lincoln and way many years ago.
Is that just public schools in
Yeah,
Clinton?
it's public school.
How many of the kids in your class were Indian?
Well, all of my kinfolk, all of my cousins, and some of our friends, I say there's about 20 of us, 30, maybe not that many.
Yeah.
Because I remember one time they said there's too many Indians here. They had to break us up. They sent them to. We had 3 elementary schools. One called Lincoln, one in Nance, and Washington elementary schools.
Why were there too many Indians?
I had to ask them. They just said there's too many Indians here, so they decided to split it up. You know. So that's they just split it up for some reason. Of course, we had to draw straws. I mean, they just they said, well, you pick this, you pick that. Because I got to stay at the school I was at Lincoln. I remember my cousin, she stayed there too. My girl cousin. Some of my other kids, other cousins had to go to that other school south of town. This is all Clinton. Was inside the city limits.
Did you help your father paint houses?
Oh yeah, sure did. We used to. He used to do he had a steady job, see, out of Clinton Naval Air Station, but he done subcontract on the side. Like I remember sometimes we painted fences, trees, for keep the bugs from coming out. And one time, the biggest job I remember we had was a lumber yard. We had to paint a lumber yard. And painted everything we could get our hands on, we got paid for. But for a long time there, I never did know what kind of job he got. I never know, I think it must have been in grade school, I guess. I really don't know. They kind of work does your father do? I don't know. Does he work? Yeah, I bet he does. See, I didn't know what he'd done. And well, does he wear any special clothes? I didn't know what special clothes meant. Does he dress in it? Well, he wears white clothes all the time. Then we figured out he was a painter. I never even give it a thought. And Dad didn't know the address where we live at. Didn't care about no address. I mean, if you want to know where we live, that's it. Is it down there where in the tree? I said, no. Yeah. I didn't know, I probably was the only one who didn't know where they lived, We never gave a thought of things like that. I live at Nichols Hills or downtown. So we didn't know there was a structure. But I know one thing. I've always lived on the other side of the track, no matter where I went to. I've always managed to get on the other side of the track. How I do, I don't know. Even today, I've always managed to move to the
What
port.
do you consider the other side of the tracks?
Well, everybody knows what the other side of the track is. Poor side of town. It divides poor from the middle class to the upper class. I've always managed to. I never looked for no tracks and try to move on the other side. Wherever I moved to, well, I had to move to the economic conditions of what I could do. For some reason, it was always on this side of the track.
Of course, poor is a relative term. When I grew up, I was poor but didn't know it.
Well, see, I've changed all my thinking since then, like I was rich in health and poor in finances. I'll put it that way. I didn't know that I was could run across the street and get something and run back. Now I can't even. I can get around, but I mean it takes me. I didn't realize that I was rich in health and poor in finances. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't. One of my dreams, and that was brought on by. I've always said, $2 an hour. If you make $2 an hour, man, you had to have it made. I mean, what else could you make? I mean, what else could you? Here, at the end there, I was making $15 an hour. And then, I still think $2 is now, even though I was making $15 an hour. I still think $2 an hour was it. You make $2 an hour, you have to. What could get you? What kind of problem could you have? Make $2 an hour, but that was his way. That was many years ago.
Why did the Sand Creek organization develop?
To retrieve monetary compensation and land that was promised to and this was started by me. It was started way back in 1970, 60 something. I checked with the Secretary of State's office, and the guy that originally started, his name was Sam Dickey. He originally incorporated as a nonprofit organization. He done all that. And as years went along, I've heard about it many years ago. Even when I was a little kid. Here I am, an old timer, still hearing about it. But I'm trying to do something about it now. There's things that we can do to make these happen in our lifetime. Not my lifetime, but my kids' lifetime, my grandchildren's lifetime.
And this money in escrow, do you have access to that?
Well, we talked to the attorneys, and they said that the money part wouldn't be so hard to get. But the land part, they don't want to. Government don't want to surrender the land. No, that's the problem. That's one of the things that we're fighting today.
What land?
Fort Reno.
Fort Reno.
Fort Reno. They're refusing to give it up. They've always refused.
Now, was this land promised to the Indians?
Oh no, it was promised. It was theirs in the first place. They just used this. You're talking about Fort Reno?
Yeah. Okay,
Fort Reno was to be used as a military resupply station, or whatever they call it. Until such military use stops, it was to supposedly revert back to the tribe, which means the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe. But the last military officer walked off of there. It was in 1940 something, 45, 46. The military ceased to use that. So we should have got it back a couple years later or whenever. As tribal land. But it didn't happen. That's
understand now.
That's it's the same place where it was then. Nobody want to give it up. They don't want to give it up. The Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe has approached the congressional delegation. They say they made a presentation. This is what we're going to do with it. They say, well, that's a good presentation, but you're knocking on the wrong door. So, and we know darn good well that's the right door to knock on.
Why is the government refusing to give up the land?
Well, there's the federal built prisons on there, the federal penitentiaries on there, and there's the experimental station over there. That's about all I could see. But plus the land base itself, I don't know how much, quite a few acres. But other than that, I don't see. I really don't know why they're refusing to give it up. They could do it. But they won't. It's not one of the promises that's been promised to the Indian over the years. You give me this, I'll give you that. or you give me this, then I'll give you that. We give you that, but we didn't give you, we didn't receive this or whatever. The Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe seems like it's been built on broken promises all these years. All these years. How come? Why?
Do you think you'll ever get the land back?
Eventually. I hope. Of course, they've been saying that. I heard a guy say that eventually, 20 years ago. Still ain't got it back. Eventually, it's still around. Maybe 20 years ago, somebody said, yeah, eventually we'll get it back. Political game.
How often do the Cheyenne Indians have a dance?
Well, a long time ago, they used to have them maybe just powwows, just here, just once, like. But now they have them every weekend. Like you can, this weekend, you can go out there and find a dance. In Cheyenne country anywhere, this weekend. I don't know where, but you can find one there. You can find one in Cheyenne-Arapaho country. There's a dance going on this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Where at, I don't know, but there's one going on out there. I don't know where. It's like that nowadays. Whereas a long time ago, they just had like about 3 big powwows a year.
What were they?
The colony powwow, the barefoot powwow, and there was one called dog patch powwow. That was the 3 major ones that I know about.
Now, when were these held? What time?
Oh, July and August, September.
Was there any reason why they were held this time of year?
Well, from what I was told, it was too hot to have them, And that's how come they kind of moving them back to the either have them early or have them late, because of the heat. But that's just what I was told. I don't really know if that was what was the real reason why they had them during that period of time.
Colony was that? There's an Indian school at Colony, wasn't there?
Seeger Indian School, yeah.
Okay.
That's where my mother went to school. All my aunts, all my people just about. Oh, Seeger Indian.
Did you attend any of the government schools?
No. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. I tried to, but I did go for 2 weeks to Cheyenne Indian School. But I didn't like it, so I left and went back to public school.
Why didn't you like it?
Why didn't I like it? Because I was used to staying up to 11, 12 o'clock at night. When I went to public school, in the school, the lights went out at 9 o'clock, don't care what you were doing. Then in the morning you had to, see, I wasn't used to getting up, shining the halls, and mopping the floors, and see, I wasn't used to doing that thing at home. Up there you have to. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm just saying, I wasn't used to it. I wasn't. Well, that.
Go back to 10?
Yeah. Back.
Are there any of the old traditions still being carried on by the Cheyenne tribe?
Well, it depends on what kind of tradition you're talking about.
Like, is there a funeral, wedding?
No. There probably is in some parts of Cheyenne-Arapaho country. Like my father-in-law died, he had a sudden heart attack Friday. With the blink of an eye, he was gone. And they had his funeral Saturday. To the best of my knowledge, when they have funerals like that, like my mother and I remember they used to cut their hair. And don't do certain things for a certain length of time. But nowadays it's changed.
Is it number 4 special to the Cheyennes?
What?
Number 4?
Number 4 what?
Is it special to the Cheyennes?
The number 4?
Yeah.
If it is, I don't know why it would be.
Because some of the Indians, if there's a death, well, they wait 4 days.
Well, I know there's a certain length of time that you could be. There's a certain length of many days that they wait before they do anything or anything, you know. And I really don't know even the length of time, but I just know I was just going by what I see my mother and my grandmother and them used to do. Somebody die or something, they cut their hair off and just and certain things they didn't do. And I never did even pay attention as to how long that it went on. Of course, it could have been number four, but I don't know. As far as I know, they ain't, but no, I'm not.
What year did you graduate from high school?
58.
58. You go in the military?
No, tried to.
You tried to. Didn't make it.
I tried 4 times. Military. Tried Boy Scout, Cub Scout, everything. Military. I used to have trouble with my knee and my foot, one of my foot. I don't know which one it is. But that's what kept me out. Way back in I can't remember what year it was. We tried to join military service. We wasn't even old enough to go. But, you know, a long time ago, I don't know how it is nowadays, but if you get your mother to sign or somebody, your guardian or whoever, your parent, you get them signed, you could go then. So, me and my cousin, we signed up. That's what stopped me. Then I tried again. I can't remember what year that was, in the early 50s. And then I tried at 57. Same thing. So when I turned 18, they just automatically made me 4F. Ever since then. Well, we tried doing everything. Nobody wouldn't accept us. Boy Scout, Cub Scout, any kind of civic organization, nothing.
Wow.
I don't know. Nobody wouldn't accept us except the church. We played ball. We done things like we ordinarily wouldn't do, you know. But other than that, you know, we went to Boy Scouts and they said, well, we filled up. We've been filled for about a couple of years. And I know now that they just didn't want to do it. Cub Scouts that.
Because you read it or what?
Yeah, me too. This was in the 1950s, in the early 50s. You know, what you don't know don't hurt you. But I know now that all that was aimed at one thing. Keeping us out of that door.
Got a question. Back in those days, they had the Jim Crow law. They had the blacks and the whites.
Yeah.
Where'd the Indians fit in?
Well, like I said, what you don't know don't hurt you. I thought we fitted in pretty good, but apparently we didn't. But I mean, we could go where they couldn't go. We could do things that they couldn't do. I'm talking about the blacks.
Yeah.
But there are certain things that we couldn't do.
What are some things you couldn't do?
Well, for instance, oh yeah, they used to have signs that were at Piggly Wiggly, Forerunner of Humpty Dumpty. No Indians allowed. They had signs over at S&D Drug. No Indians allowed. Several other places, I never paid that much attention. You see them like car for sale. You see that car. So what? There's a lot of car for sale. But, you know, I seen them signs. In fact, I had downstairs, I asked if anybody had a picture of them signs. I really would like to see one to show people that this is actually what took place about Indians. They were treated very, very badly. Very bad. And the Piggly Wiggly, he took his sign down. We always thought that he did that because he wanted to hide something from us. So when he took that sign, we finally got to go to Piggly Wiggly. We went to look in the Piggly Wiggly store, the grocery store. So in there with hot, regular grocery store. But we didn't know. We didn't know a darn thing about discrimination and the things that they have. There's laws against that's enforced in some places, not all places.
Now, what were the things you could do that blacks couldn't do?
Well, we could sit in the movies, go to the movies, we could go swimming, you know. But then, what we were allowed to do cost money. For instance, it cost 15 cents to swim. So we waited time till the sun went down. Everybody closed the shop. Time to the fences. Had all the swim on. That's it. Come out, no hassle. Just turn back up. No problem. But we were allowed to go to regular shows, but the finance is what kept us. Stores, you know, we go sit there and drink coffee, stuff like that, but everybody could drink coffee. Or as a black, when we went to show, they had their own special section where they could sit.
But the Indians didn't.
We kind of had to force our way. By that I mean, I don't know. When we was coming from junior high, from Lincoln School to grade school to junior high, they always told us they're gonna start beating you up when you get up there. They're gonna start treating you. So I said, well, we better do them before they do us. So that's what we did. We done them before they done us. Picked the biggest red-headed guy we found on the school ground. Broke his leg. I think we broke his leg. We kind of had to halfway force ourselves to be accepted. But we didn't know what accepted meant. We didn't know that. We want you to be our friend. We just didn't want them to jump on us, beat them before they beat us. But I never did know that. I mean, I didn't know that's what we was doing. But that's true. I don't know how it is today, but because we had trouble with the school people. From the time we got to junior high till the time we got to graduate from 1950 to 1958, there was supposed to have been at least 20 Indians graduate from high school. 20 Indians. One. Wow. Beat me. Oh yeah, there's some reasons. I mean, like in junior high there was, you know how when you go to school say, watch out for Miss So and So. Watch out for Mr. So and So. Well, in junior high there was this lady, I can't remember her name. Everybody warned each other about her. Watch out for Miss So and So. Watch out for me. That teacher alone was responsible for a lot of our Indians not completing school, not completing junior high, not even caring about school because of her. You know, some of my kinfolk she wrote them so much they just got out. That's it. End of their school day. Complete. Any school administrator should have known or should have seen. A caring school administrator, I mean. But apparently must have done that now because they should have seen. Well, I know for sure they had to be at least 18. Should have got to the 9th grade, 10th grade, all up to high school. But that lady alone was responsible for maybe over half or maybe more, not even finishing because of her treatment towards him. She didn't like him. I knew it. Everybody out there. Watch out for Miss So-and-so. Watch out for Miss So-and-so.
Did you get through?
Yeah, I got through. I don't know why. I was the only one, that's why I'm saying just one, and that was me. I finished high school. How did I do it? I don't know. I wasn't in, my parents, they were from the old times. They're not like today. You finish school. You finish school. That's the only way you're gonna make it. They didn't say nothing to me like that. I just made it. I did same things they did. Same things they did. But I was the one who made it. How come I did? I don't know. I'm surprised I made it. I don't even know. But I did. See, I almost walked out on that lady myself many a time. They always use that. These politicians like to use that thing. You can't stand to eat in the kitchen. Get out. Well, that's true. Get out. The kitchen gets too hot. Get out. Get out with the kitchen. Her kitchen.
The organization, the Sang Creek organization. Now are you the president?
Yes.
Okay. What are the officers in the group?
Who are the officers?
Yeah.
Well, there's Johnny Stipes. He's from Clinton. Well, they're all from Clinton again. He's the vice chairman. And Terry Wilson. My uncle Roger White Turtle. There's one other person. I don't know who that is.
Is it about 114 members?
114 members? Shoot, no, man, that's about 10,000 of us. A lot of people. It's a large member organization. What I'm saying, we don't send out membership cards. We don't pay dues. It's descended down the line.
Is there a blood quantum that you have to be?
No. Well, most of them are Indians anyway. You know.
Well, that could be.
Oh yeah.
Be thinned out now. Some of them on down the line.
Well, there's no blood quantum been set yet. There's no blood quantum been set yet. And I'm not saying that it needs to be done, but and I don't know what good it'd do if we did do it, and what good it would do if we didn't do it. You know, but there's no blood quantum been set. But as far as we know, there's a lot of members, lots of members. Because any Cheyenne you see, you ask them, are you St. Creek descendant? Yeah. Through who? They'll tell you. Because most of them they know who they're descendants. They know who they are.
Are you involved in politics?
No. I just tell you, from the bottom of the floor to the top of that ceiling up there. That way to that way.
What prompted your interest in politics?
Well, politics means a lot of things to me. I don't really understand, politics is politics, but there's a wide range of things.
Now, are you involved in tribal politics, like state politics?
Both.
Both.
Yeah. I don't know. What do you mean, like?
Are you involved in tribal politics besides the Kansas Sang Creek organization?
Oh yeah. I'm currently the Cheyenne-Arapaho lobbyist, and to my knowledge, I'm the only Indian lobbyist in the state of Oklahoma. Bobby Big Horse, type of one.
And this over at the Capitol building. What are you lobbying for?
Only for job, tourism bills. Something that Indians had that affect the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe, or could affect our benefit. Some bills will come out and you got nothing about it, no word about an Indian on it, but if you look close enough and read close enough, it's got Indian written all over it.
And do you work with other tribes?
No.
Just the Cheyenne-Arapaho?
Yeah. I plan to expand the lobbying to all tribes. Maybe in the first of next year. I have to talk with some of the tribal leaders. Anyway, I think every tribe needs to have a lobbyist simply because of the modern day things that's happening these days. campaign.
How do you and Mr. Haney get along?
Oh, I went to college with him.
Where'd you go to college?
Oklahoma City University. No, me and him had class. I've known him for a long time. In fact, he's head of one of the organizations that I'm head of one of the organizations that he used to be head of one time many years ago.
What's that?
The Central Oklahoma Indian Coalition. It's a political arm of the Native Americans.
Now, what's the object of this group? What do you do?
They're out there so they can play ball with anybody. They can't just play ball with Democrats or Republicans or blacks or Indians. They can play ball with anybody. They're not tied by any hatchet act or any kind of act saying you can't do this, you can't do that. They're out there too. It's a political arm of the Native Americans.
How many tribes are involved?
38.
38. Do you see tying all the tribes together to become more involved in state politics, state government?
Do I see, or are we, or do I see?
You.
Is there a need to be?
Yes.
Oh, sure. We're going to do it too. Should have been done a long time ago. You have to play politics these days in order to get what you want. I don't care what you say. You know, like you said, this politics. You have to play ball with the Central Oklahoma Indians. We're going to form a committee, stronger committee. You can look at the voter registration, mainly voter registration, because we have terrible trouble with voter registration in Oklahoma. There's 10,000. I mean, there's depending on who you're talking, there's 20, 25 to 30,000 Indians alone in Oklahoma County. There's only 5 or 6 Indian registrars. I mean, what's the problem? I have been trying to get the Oklahoma County and these guys up here to appoint Indian voter registrars. They said, what do you need them for? So, we need them. I always say Indian to Indian, white to white, black to black. You know, if you send a black to my house or to any Indian's house, they're gonna open it like that. You send an Indian to an Indian, you open the door. Hello, how you doing? You know, come on in. But you send a white over there, or anything other than Indian to an Indian home, they're gonna look out the window first, see who's out there before they open the door. If it's somebody they don't trust or don't look right to them, they ain't going to answer the door. But if it's Indian, oh, how you doing?
You going to be successful?
Oh, yeah.
Are you considering filing a claim against the U.S. government because of Sand Creek?
No, we don't need to.
You don't need to.
No, they's the one give it to us. I don't see why we should. You know, here's the money that we did damage we've done to you. Why should we file another one when they say, well, here it is? It's, well, if you until you decide, we'll just put it away.
How much did they put in escrow at that time?
It's not very much. It's grown to millions and millions of dollars, though. Today's inflation rates and everything going up. It's really grown to quite a bit of money. A lot of money. At that time, it's nothing. Well, I mean, you know, them days, $2,000 was maybe like $200,000. Yeah. Everything was. You could live pretty well for $100. Buy a whole shooting match for $100.
How did you become chairman of the organization, the Sand Creek organization?
Oh, they was gonna make a movie of the Sand Creek descendants, They was gonna make a movie. In fact, they still might. It was Sand Creek, not the commercial kind, but the actual. You know, there's been movies of the Sand Creek. The Sand Creek. You take a look at it. Them kind of guys wearing these kind of coats, they're winning all the time. Which they are, but I mean, in that part they do. But I mean, you know, so they had a meeting out here at Clinton. So out of curiosity, I went out there to attend that meeting. And we went in this teepee and we sat, talk. I came out of there, chair, with no intention to. They said, we need to get this going. We need to start getting on this. Although there was no prior organization, but it's been laying dead for many years.
What are the biggest problems facing the Cheyennes today?
Huh?
What are the biggest problems facing the Cheyennes today?
Employment. You solve employment, you solve everything else.
What's the unemployment rate among the Cheyennes?
90%. Solve employment, you got no problem. You know, like, you got a problem getting shoes or a coat or anything else, you working, you can solve all the problems. You buy some shoes, buy some coat. Employment. I know that this all what I'm saying is just my thinking, my own personal thinking. I'm not speaking for the chairman of the tribe. I'm not speaking for anybody else. But you asked me, so I'm saying that employment is the biggest problem within the tribe. Employment.
Is the tribal committee working towards solving unemployment?
Yes, there's a lot of things that they're working on, not necessarily working on, but are doing to solve this. It's not going to be solved. It'll never be solved.
Why?
Well, this country's been here how long? 200 years or something like that? It never solved it. We probably won't either. You know. No, it's a good man or somebody comes along and says, all right, everybody in here is going to work Monday. We'll pay them. Who will is, I don't know. But the only way it's going to be solved, somebody take and say, well, all right. Everybody got a job here. Johnson's war on poverty done a little dent in it, but that's it. During the 1960s. We come in with the JTPA, not JTPA, but CEDA program. And then that was a beat. I'm not necessarily by us, but I'm saying that was a beat. But that was I thought that was a beat. Unemployment never be solved. Never be solved. No.
Is there still a lot of prejudice against the Indians?
Sure.
Why is that, folks?
I couldn't explain that. That's one of the things I've been doing. How come Indians are not accepted in society? How come there's no Indians on the Chamber of Commerce? How come there's no Indians over here? How come there's no Indians over here? How come there's no Indians over here? How many Indians do you have in this building?
2 or 3.
Can they pull out that card?
Yeah.
You know how many Indians they got at the Capitol? 3. You know how many got at the tourist building? None. You know, they got the other building over there. I think they got about 3 or 4. They got one across the street. That's what I'm doing. I know I'm not going to solve it by myself. See, what was the original question? Discrimination. That's what you said. Oh, is there still discrimination?
Yeah, discrimination. That's right.
Oh man, it's widespread. Widespread. Of course, you don't see it. Oh yeah, I don't know where you live. I don't know what you do, but I mean, of course, you might live there every day. But I mean, you know, you might have Indian wives slapping around every day. But I don't know. But
Well,
what I'm saying is,
yeah.
It's there. In March of 1968, I got the governor's office to issue a letter to all tribal chiefs in the state of Oklahoma, inviting them to participate and get on their boards and commissions. The state of Oklahoma has a lot of boards and commissions, not the peanut board or the barber board, but boards and commissions that actually make impact on Indians in the state of Oklahoma. Yeah? No Indian. Do you think of one board right now? I'll tell you how many Indians they got on it. Just pick out one out there.
Oh.
Besides, other than the Indian Affairs Commission.
Oh, and how about the Oklahoma Bar Center over here?
Where?
Oklahoma Bar Association.
Oklahoma Bar. Let's see. I think it might be, to my knowledge, there might be 4 of them over there. Might be with Richard Knight and a guy from Cliff Sheldon and some guys from Norman. I think there's 3 down here and one out at Edmond. I think there's about 4. You belong to the Bar Association itself? Oh no, that's an association itself. I'm talking about the like
the nursing board.
None. Not of one. Wait a minute, there might be one or two, because I was looking at that. See, that's what I try to do. We need Indians on this board. Not too long ago, I asked the officer up here, I said, how many Indians how many people, April, May, and June, how many have you appointed to boards and commissions? He said 67. He answered it just like that, 67. I said, how many were Indians? Well, let me see. I have to look at my book. That means none. Otherwise, he'd say 1, 2, 3. Why? What's the matter? We're having OMP or OPM or whatever it is across the street. No, let me just change it around. I'm on the Affirmative Action Board of EHA. And the first appointment to that board, first thing I did, I said, I would like to get a computer printout of the Cheyenne-Arapaho 8-county jurisdiction to see how many Native Americans you have employed in that jurisdiction. So the guy, without thinking, without talking to anybody, here he come pop out. 1. Beckham County. So that same meeting, I brought that, I said, you guys are violating, the Department of Human Services is violating EEOC regulations. I told them, you guys ain't putting in this work, you're not. And the lady in charge there, she said, well, where'd you get them figures from? She tried to attack me by, the guy sitting right next to you. Okay. And they always give me, they don't apply. So I checked to see if they do apply. 139 Indians apply for a Department of Human Services job. Not one of them got hired. And I found out why. A lot of these jobs are the patronage jobs. The job came open in Clinton, the town I'm from. It would be up to Senator Kerr or House of Representative Bill Winterman, whoever they wanted. I don't care how qualified you are, you got a Chinese chance. Especially if you're Indian, you ain't gonna have no chance at all. That's Tamara. The Price Waterhouse put out a deal. This is the year of the cowboy and the Indian. So I took off the cowboy and said, this is the year of Indian. Chamber of Commerce put that out. Department of Tourism. How come you don't put an Indian on the tourism board? How come they ain't got nobody at Chamber of Commerce? They got Red Earth. But they ain't no Indians running the Red Earth. No, there might be, in position to make a difference, there might be one Indian of 1/4 or more degree that's running the Indian show down there. Now, I'm not saying, but it's still there. if you're not there to, if you're not one of them that sees it, you can't tell it. And like you, I don't think you know there's any discrimination. There is. It's there all over the place.
What progress do you see over the next 10 years?
Well, I hope I'm just alive to see any kind of progress myself, but as far as progress goes, I hope that the state of Oklahoma and the federal government and the tribes start working hand in hand with solving unemployment, solving education, solving health problems, something that a lot of things that we are dependent on. Employment, health. You gotta have good health in order to go to work. All these problems, the state. Another big problem is alcoholism.
Why is alcoholism a big problem among the Indians?
Well, I trace it back to unemployment again. If you ain't got nothing to do, what else is there to do? I trace everything back to unemployment. Why people commit suicide? I can't feed my family. I can't do this. I can't get them shoes. That drives a person or a lady to do anything. Robberies, crime, everything like that. Unemployment. If they had a job, they wouldn't be doing this. Any kind of problem that the Indians have, I trace it back to unemployment. Alcoholism, crime, everything that's happening. Unemployment. If a person was working, you get time to be trying to think about committing suicide. Although he might not have the money to pay the bills and stuff like that, but if you're working, you got something. Whereas you ain't got a damn thing.
How important is education among the Cheyennes today?
It's real important. Real important. Not if you want to dig ditches. Not if you plan on digging ditches or doing manual labor issues. Like other than that, well, education is very, very important. You want to get jobs like you got. I like to get a job you got. I don't know what it takes, but I don't know. But you have to have an educated guy. I know you do. You can't. Somebody just came over down the street and come in here and say, I like to come in here and say, I like to get this job. What kind of education you got? Been in 7th grade. Know how to write, read, and write. Sorry. That's how important it is.
Are you promoting Native American crafts?
Yes. Yes. I would like.
It used to be a big tourist industry.
It needs to be or used to be?
It could be. Could be.
Oh, yeah, it could be. If it's worked on it right. I mean, if the Indians sharing it, to me, there's a lot of things that Indians need to be involved. I'm always talking for the Indians, They need to be involved in all this tourism. They need to be all.
Has the state government been responsive to you?
Nope.
For this?
Because of the way I talk.
Why haven't they been responsive?
Because I don't talk nice. I mean, how you gonna listen to somebody comes in there and starts pounding the deal and tell you, but that's true. I'm just trying to get my point across, They've been responsive for the governor sent out the letter. But there's a lot of things they could do. I mean, they could really get Indians involved. Really could. They really could get Indians involved. That could solve a lot of these problems that's happening now. They have a lot of problems. But the Oklahoma Today magazine. I said Oklahoma Today they run most of that Indian stores in them. No, I take back. Arizona highway. There's just nothing but Indian stores. Nothing but Indian stores. So I went up to Oklahoma today. Tried to get him to do a story on a man, a full-blooded Arapaho man, who made All-American. He played with Jim Thorpe and all that stuff. To run a store on him. She said, well, we don't do individual stores. I said, bring me that book. She handed me that book. First page I went into was an individual store on a guy. And I said, well, what do you call that? I said, what you saying? You ought to say, we don't do Indian stores on individual. That's how come I don't get too much to respond, because I tell them, just tell them. See, she just got to tell me they don't do individual stores. Yet the first page, the first story I come to was an individual store about one guy. And I told her, plain just right into her face, you should say we don't do Indian stores, because you got this here. They don't do Indian stores. In the back, special events. They get, you got to ask something about powwows a while ago. They got powwows all over. You look in Oklahoma today, no, maybe one or two. I mean, I don't know who controls that, but if they want Indians involved, what they've been saying in the last 2-3 months. They did Indian desk at the Department of Tourism. They did Indians in these information booths. To prove a point, I called the information booth at 50th and Eastern. I think it's Eastern. I-35. Told them I was from New York City. I said, I understand they have a lot of Indians in Oklahoma. They said, oh yeah, we have a lot of Indians. They talk all that stuff. I said, I'd like to see some. I'd like to see a dance. Good dance. So he says, well, let me see. You said you was going to California, didn't you? I said, yeah. All right. When you get to Arizona, turn south, start giving me some tribe in Arizona. And I brought that up in the Tourist Commission. That guy, he's telling me that, and here we got a lot of Oklahoma Indians. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tourists, foreign tourists come to Oklahoma every year. First thing they want to see is Indians. I told Oscar, what do you do with them? We send them shawling here in dark. What do you do that for? Oklahoma City at this time has one of the largest. It's either first or second, but I'm saying has one of the largest Indian populated states in the whole United States. In fact, the whole world. You want to send them away all that for? They call that Indian capital here. The Indian capital right here. Got more Indians than Tulsa. Why you want to ship them way over there for? We got them right here. Picked up some. Cowboy Hall of Fame. I've been trying to get them to put on a 10, 2, and 4 dance for the dance. They won't do it. Yet they say cowboy and Indian. The 1989 Summer Olympic Festival. How come you don't get Indians involved? How come you don't try to get Indians in? They said, well, we got the Thorpe family. I said, yeah, but there's 350,000 Indians in the state of Oklahoma. On an organized basis. The Indians like to get involved. But if you're not about it, they're not going to ask, I used to be like that. People tell you, no. I just, all right, no. What do you mean? You like, we've been voting. Why should I vote? They tell you something, no. Well, nowadays it's not no. If you tell me no, you tell me how come no. Show me how come you say no.
What's the origin of Sundance?
Well, I don't know too much about that. In fact, I don't like to even get into that subject because I don't really know. I might say something that might be.
Anything else about the Indians and state government you want to talk about?
About the what?
About the Indians and politics and state government and tourism. Anything else?
Yeah, there's a lot of things. But
I'd like, if you'd like to, maybe after the first year, do another session. And let you sit down and just think about some ideas that you have to promote Indians, and maybe do another session.
promoting, what do you mean?
Well, just what you've been thinking of, to get more Indians involved in state government, get tourism more involved with the Indians.
See, what I plan to do is do a deal on our Indians in today's. See, let me give you an example of why. I was on the Dukakis Benson campaign staff here in Oklahoma, from the Indian section. The main guy, when he first seen me, he pointed his finger at me. He said, "What are you doing here? What is your role?" You know, like I ain't supposed to be there. You know, what he should have said was, "I see we got another guy here, ready to go. I'm glad we got another guy because this ain't a big campaign. We need all the help we can get." But instead, it's the other way. It goes to show Indians are, they're not accepted. Otherwise, it'd be, like I said, Indians on the wall, Chamber of Commerce, anything really. How come? Why? This is 1988. It's going to be 1999. The Price Waterhouse talks about barriers. I think the barriers is the state of Oklahoma, or somebody. I'll say the state of Oklahoma because the administration has changed in the time. But Indians are unaccepted. I mean, I think if even the Indian interviewer, he could draw more. I'm just saying that, but he could draw more out of people than you could. You had somebody that does an oral interview. Just a little thing that people don't think of. And we proved our point before time and time again. Across the street, opium. I told them, I said, I'm not sure, but and I'm not just taking a guess, but you guys mean opium. When Indians apply, you get that thing you watered up. Time to try. No, we don't either. So there was a trainee job came open. My daughter, 3 of her friends applied. Trainee job. I brought them in. Here they are. Said I'm put to that lady when you come in, give them to her. Last I seen them, I give that lady. A week later, one of them showed up. I told him that gets me suspicious when just one shows up. He said, "You give me 2 weeks, I'll find them others for you. I guarantee you. 2, going on 3 years now. Found for this. Where'd they go? You know." Another thing there, when you apply for a state job, there's on the bottom it says, "Are you Indian, Hispanic?" You know, on the bottom. I can't find out where that little slip goes. Because I talked to her, she said, "I'd tear them off and I'd pack them, but somebody else come by and get them, I don't know where they go to." You know, that could tell me a lot as to where Indians are working, how many has applied, stuff like that. But when you can't find out things like that, suspicion, you get you suspicious of it. What I'm doing now, I just didn't start it yesterday, or day before yesterday, or 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, or 5 years ago. I started many years ago. I seen where Indians had jobs, but they didn't. It's either throwing out the garbage or washing the dishes or something like that. No good job that would, you know. But I've been doing this a long time. And I've been with every organization here in Oklahoma City. I've been chairman of the Native Americans. I've been with the Native American Center for a great number of years, 15, 16. I've been chairman of that chairman of the Native American Center for 5 years straight. I was the chairman of the Wood neighborhood. In fact, I was the one who got the neighborhood incorporated. They're one of the oldest neighborhoods in the state of Oklahoma, if not the oldest. But for some reason, nobody never even stopped to think of incorporating that neighborhood so that you get extra funds and stuff like that. So, and actually, they never did have a place to meet, really, because they just met here and there. Until I got elected as chairman of that neighborhood, and then I stopped all that. Got a permanent place.
What neighborhood is it?
It's a downtown neighborhood.
Yeah.
And I got a permanent place for us, and I got us incorporated. You know, I've been on every board here in the city. In fact, now I'm on selective service. Go training area.
Sir, what's your address?
1514 Northwest First.
I'm sorry?
Northwest First.
Northwest First. And what's your phone number?
I don't have one.
Okay. What's your zip code up there?
73106.
73106.
After January, get me at Senator Kenny's office. There's some things that I want to try with the state legislature to in helping us with Fort Wayne.
Well, I think we have a good interview.
I want to copy that.
Okay.
I would like to, you know, is it on? Is it still running?
Sure. Want me to shut it off?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've received 2 presidential appointments, one from the Carter administration to the National Advisory Council on Indian Education, and another to the Selective Service to President Reagan. And I'm now up for a third one to President Reagan.
Reagan or Bush?
No, Reagan. Probably one of them two. So you ask me how involved in politics, that's how much you got to be really involved in politics. Get them things. Them are patronage jobs, I think we call them. They just, because not that I say I done anything for the Republicans, because I'm a Democrat. Just one of the things.
Okay. Well, when would be convenient for you to do another session?
Yeah, it's up to you.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I'll get both tapes. How much would it cost me to get both tapes?
we just charge the price of a tape. Okay. It's $10 on the video and then $2.50 on the audio.
It'll be 12 bucks.
Yep.
12, 13.
So we can go ahead and shut that off. This is Bill Welge for the Oklahoma Historical Society Oral History Program, interviewing Mr. Bobby Bighorse, member of the Southern Cheyenne Tribe of Oklahoma. Today is January the 10th, 1989. Mr. Bighorse, give me a little bit of information about your background. I know this is the second interview with you, but what is your full given name, and give me the date of your birth and location of birth.
Okay, my full name is Bobby Ray Bighorse, Sr. I was born in Clinton Indian Hospital on April 8, 1939. And my Indian name is Nashina. And in English it means I done kill him already. Not already, but I done kill him.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why I got that Indian name, and how come my grandma gave me that name. But I understand my uncle had that name. In fact, he still got it. He's still alive.
I see.
And there's several others in our tribe that has the same.
Is it a tradition of the
Cheyennes to have the grandparent?
Yes, usually
name
is.
you?
Yeah, the grandparent usually names the children.
Does it matter if it's the grandmother? I mean, is it important that it's the grandmother and not the grandfather?
Well, I don't really know, but it's usually grandparents. I don't know whether the one or two which gives the Indian name.
I see.
But I actually had nothing to do with that. I just given that name.
And give me your name of your parents again.
My father's name was Fred Big Horse Senior, and my mother's name is Laura White Turtle Big Horse. And my father is originally from what they call the Siger. Anyway, he lived about 6 miles east of the present, 6.5 miles east of the present town of Bessie.
I see.
Bessie, Oklahoma, which is called the Siger District or something like that.
Seeger agency,
Yeah,
I guess, or
Siger,
sub-agency.
yeah, he lived out there in the country. His father and his mother. His father was named Hubbard, Hubble, and his mother was named Little Woman. And his sister was named as Geneva. And he was he ended up in orphan about 1912.
Oh, he did.
And my mother was, well, they was born all out there in the country. They didn't have no Indian hospital stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was born out there by what they call Big Jake Crossing.
Mm-hmm.
It's between Corn, Oklahoma, Colony, Clinton, Weatherford, way out there in the country. That's where my mother was from.
Well, now, was she a member of the Big Jake band?
No. Just a lot of Indians end up out there. That's where the original allotment was.
Okay.
That's where my grandfather's original allotment was out there.
Did either one of your parents attend the Seeger Indian School?
Yeah, they all did.
Uh,
All my mother, and all my aunts, they all went to Seeger.
How about your grandparents? Were they?
I don't think they went to school. This was way before school was mandatory, or way before even.
Well, they probably were too old.
Yeah,
to
they might
attend.
have went to Seeger Indian School. I come to think of it, they might have.
Well, the school was established and opened in 1893, so it's possible they might have.
Yeah, they might have, but I doubt it too.
And what year was your father born? Do you know?
1912.
1912?
Mhm.
Okay.
You talking about my grandparents or my?
Your father?
Oh, oh yeah, he went to school, but for a long time I never did know where my father was from, or I never did know anything too much about my father except other than that he was a cab driver in Washington D.C. at one time,
Oh,
in
really?
New York City.
Oh. So he left at an early age.
Yeah.
Being orphaned at an early age,
Yeah.
he left Oklahoma.
Yeah, he even went overseas, and I never did know that for a long time.
He served in the military?
No, he went with some kind of circus
Oh.
or somewhere. And he traveled all over when he was young man.
Mm-hmm. Did he ever, when he came back, did he ever settle down back in Oklahoma?
Oh yeah, yeah. After that,
When was that? Do you know?
I sure don't know when it was, but had to be around in the early 20s, I guess.
20?
30.
Do you recall him ever talking about going to school at Seeger, or?
No, he never told us nothing. That's one reason why we never. Well, in fact, I never did. He might have told other people, but I never did hear him talk about his teenage life or his schoolwork or anything really.
How about your mother?
Oh yeah, she tells everything.
What kind of information did she say?
Well, about Seeger Indian School.
What did she remember about it? What was some of the vivid memories?
Well,
that
she said it was very strict. Wear a military uniform, just like they do in the army. It's just regular army, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But only they was girls and boys.
Did they?
Everything had to be get up certain time, go to bed certain time, do march to work and march home and everything like that. They had an Indian name for him, and I can't remember that Indian name. But the Cheyenne-Arapaho had two different names for him, you know.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean they had the same name, but it was the same. I can't remember what it meant in English, you know. but they all had an Indian name for him.
Mhm.
They say he was pretty rough sometimes.
And did she ever know Seeger himself?
Oh yeah, yeah. Nobody not liked him.
They didn't like him?
Well, she didn't. Her
Oh,
aunt
really?
did. My sister, my aunt did.
Hmm. Was he particularly...
I've never found anybody, well, that, you know, talk to them old people that went to school that actually say, well, he was a pretty good guy. I never heard anybody say that.
Oh, really?
Never heard anybody say, well, he's a pretty lenient guy, pretty good guy. You know, they just never did. I guess they just never did like him. I don't know for why. I don't know.
Well, you know, funny, history records it the other way around, but then maybe they just ignored the fact that he was rather stern and children...
Well, he was. He was. To them, he was, you know.
Mm-hmm. How long did your mother stay at the school there?
Well, till she was old enough to go to Haskell.
Haskell?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what year she went to Haskell?
Oh, I sure don't, but from what she tells me that they put him on a train, locked the train. Then they had to have guards on the, you know, them cross deals.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's to keep them from making a getaway.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of them didn't want to go up to Haskell, or any other school,
Mm-hmm.
really. Any school as far as that, you know, back then.
Did she ever try to run away from Haskell when she was there?
She probably did. Never told.
Mm-hmm.
Just about everybody has.
When did she meet your father and marry him?
I can't remember. She told me what year it was, and they met at well, out there around there where around that, what they call the Big Jackson Cigarette Indian District. A lot of Indians lived there at one time. I mean, a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was some Bents, there was some my grandparents, some Siggers, and there was a whole big family of them, Riggses. The whole, just in that one area, there's a whole bunch of big families that lived right there. I mean, not big family, but you know, they live over here and they live over here and they live over here and they live over here. Just in that one little section right there.
Yeah, but there
Yeah.
were numerous in that
Yeah.
area.
Now there's not one that lives out there. Of course, they all own that place, but
Uh-huh.
most of them own. We still own our 260 acres out there.
Do you know of very many of the tribal members who still have property out there
Oh,
besides
yeah.
yourself?
Well, them Seegers, then they're named after
John said.
John Seeger. They took up their land out there. And, I think everybody else sold their land.
Do they more or less, most of them, sell their land to move into town, or do you know?
I really don't know. You know, I was wondering about that. They might have been just talked into selling that land. I guess I don't really know, but you know, land didn't mean nothing to them really.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just to get away, getting some money for free, but nothing.
Mhm.
They ain't worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Places to stay, stuff.
When your father, I guess he didn't really attend much in the way of school.
Well, he might have, and if he did, I don't really know. You know, I don't.
Did he ever mention what circus he toured with,
Now,
and why he joined the circus, or?
well, you know, he was an orphan at 12 years old,
Mhm.
so apparently he didn't have nobody to control him or nobody to say do this, do that. So he
Mm-hmm.
just,
He didn't have a guardian appointed for him?
no, I never could find one.
I see.
Never could find one. If there was, whoever was his guardian cheated him.
And he toured with the circus for several years?
Yeah, down in South America.
Down in South America. When he came back to the United States, it was in about the late 20s, early 30s, or?
Well, whenever they built that Indian hospital, I know he worked on that one too.
Oh, did he? Was he working construction?
Yeah, he was working construction there.
I see.
All them guys, all them guys that are gone now, they all worked on that around Clinton there.
Oh, now, did they use basically Indian labor to help?
Oh,
build
they used
the hospital? Did he ever talk about? I mean, besides that construction project, did he do any other construction projects that Indian facilities, or do you know?
No, he, like I said before, he never did actually talk about himself. He never told us nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He never did
Just
say,
pretty
well,
quiet
I
about
done
it.
this and I done that, and I seen this and I seen that. I wish he would have.
Yeah.
He might have told my older brothers and sisters, but he never told us.
I
He
see.
made my brother.
Well, when you were growing up, did you grew up in Clinton area?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, mostly in Clinton. Biggest part of it was in Clinton, but we lived in Colony and Weatherford.
mhm.
Well, no, just in Colony. Get out there.
Well, now, when you were living in these various communities, were you farming, or?
I don't know what. In fact, I don't even know who was living there or not. I remember one time they had two guys had a fight. It was in Colony, and my mother said that's when we lived there. And one of them pulled a knife on this other one, and he swung at him and missed him and stuck a dog. And stabbed a dog.
Yeah.
And I remember that.
Uh-huh.
But other than that, I don't know what.
Well, now.
Probably picking cotton, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Chopping cotton. Just, what didn't she's doing all the time.
Odd jobs.
Yeah, chopping cotton, picking cotton, just anything they could get to.
Well, when you were of school age, what school did you, or schools did you attend?
Well, I went to Lincoln, Wilson Junior High, and Clinton High School.
Mm-hmm.
From 1 to 12.
I see. And were there very many Cheyennes in attendance there?
Oh yeah, there was quite a few. Quite a few.
Did you find any? Were there a number of white non-Indians attending the school there as well?
Mostly.
Mostly.
We were in minority.
I see. Did you find any at that time, when you were growing up? Did you find any particular discrimination by your teachers?
Oh yeah, but we didn't know what discrimination was. I mean, we didn't know.
How did they do
Well,
this?
for instance, one time they had a Easter egg hunt. I remember that. I don't know. It's was in grade school. I don't know. Had Easter egg hunt. And we were all lined up in a line. And they hit the eggs, previously. They lined us up. Just before they said go, they made us all as Indians step back about 5 yards.
Oh, really?
Yeah. To give their mother white children a better chance at and they all had them fancy Easter bags
Easter baskets?
Easter baskets and everything.
Uh-huh.
Where we just had sacks. And when they said go, well, Indians, we weren't going to listen. We ended up with more eggs than anybody else, all us Indians.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then they took it away from us.
They did?
Yeah, and they just give us two eggs apiece. I still remember that lady that done that.
Do you remember what her name was?
No, I don't, but I know what she looked like. I
Mhm.
still remember.
Were there other examples while you were in school that they would do that?
Oh yeah, there's many examples, but see, I'm trying to think of one that. Oh, I know. One time we was in high school, and this was in the early '50s. They put us together, all us Indians, and said, we don't want no more long hair, ducktail haircut. We don't no more wearing low jeans. They give us a dress code, how to conduct ourselves. And even then, I've always been like I am now. I've always been not afraid to talk to anybody, not afraid to say my piece. And I asked the superintendent, I said, is just this for this school or is this for us Indians? He says, for everybody. I told him, all I see here is Indians. There's a lot of other examples of the school administration. Like, for instance, the Clinton Sioux School District hired a art teacher. And she Which they are. Indians, she decided Indians were good artists, most of them. Which they are, except me. And they took us all in the cafeteria. Principal, he said, we got a new curriculum in our art. We want some Indians to volunteer to take art. So Indians ain't volunteering for nothing. We just all sat back. He got a man. He's all right. You. He volunteered all of us. From that time on, we had no choice in the matter. They automatically give us art up until the ninth grade, I guess. And then after that, well, we just automatically took it. Whether I did, everybody else did too. You know, that was.
Do you recall any of your classmates who excelled in the art class who went on and who have continued on today as far as artists of the Cheyenne tribe?
No, but like I said before, every one of them were natural artists, but they didn't excel like what they, you know, they didn't go on to be, because most of them gone already.
Mm-hmm.
And they all could. I had a cousin, boy, he had no professional training, no kind of training in him, but he was a very good artist. I think everybody could draw, paint, and do anything that they asked as far as art goes, but me.
Oh, really?
For some reason, I'm not mechanically inclined. I really can't do nothing really except talk. I can do that. I can talk real good. But other than that, I probably couldn't even take that thing and put it back.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And I've always been like that ever since grade school.
Do you recall what your cousin's name was? It was
Reese Sue.
Reese.
He's still down. He's still home today.
Mm-hmm.
About the only one left.
Now, most of your classmates of that time period, if the 1950s in the high school, and they're all more or less have died in the last few years, isn't that somewhat alarming that they've died so young?
Yeah, it's alarming now. I mean, I'd call it not alarming. I'd call it way past alarm. Epidemic.
What is the reason? What are the principal causes? Is it tuberculosis, cancer, diabetes, or what can you attribute it to? Poor health care,
alcoholism, lack of education and health.
mm-hmm.
You know, if you're educated, even just to take care of yourself and being a diabetic, you can live a long time.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't, but there was a lot of factors that didn't cause them to go finish school.
Mm-hmm.
When I graduated in 1958, there was supposed to have been at least 17 of us. I think I brought it out in another tape that maybe 17, 18, maybe more than that was supposed to have graduated in 1958, but they didn't. Just one graduate, that was me. But I blame that on, and this is just my own thinking, I blame that on a teacher in the junior high.
Mm-hmm.
She was terribly anti-Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Terribly. She was responsible for the biggest part of them not even continuing their education. My cousins, they just turned around and walked out. Man, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you write me so much, you know, take that. They turned around and walked out. That's it. You know, school administration should have known that, but they didn't. You know, you asked me about discrimination in different parts. I'm saying we was discriminated all the way through school, all the way, in different areas. I would just have to sit and think or talk to some of the people that I know. They've done things to us that's totally against the law today. In fact, that's some things that's felony against the law. You know, and real say that this, I don't know.
When you, did you have a job when you were going through high school?
No. Oh yeah. Well, no. Yes and no. Well, like, oh, I worked for my father. You know,
What were you doing?
the painter.
Painter?
He worked at Clinton Naval Air Station at the time. He had a full-time job, but we done subcontracting on the side. Or he did rather. We done. Of course, we hauled hay and chopped cotton like that and everybody else. But as far as having a regular job, I don't know of any Indian that had a job, any kind of job, other than chopping cotton,
The,
picking cotton.
now he worked at the Clinton Sherman
Naval Air Station.
Naval Air Station, all right. What did he do there?
He's a painter.
Painter.
Yeah.
Okay. How long did he work there, do you know?
Well, over 10 years. I don't know, you know.
Did you ever work on base?
To meet no. Never even been out there till the Clinton Sherman Airport. But he closed and came back around.
I see.
But other than that, I don't know if anybody, any of my classmates, any kind of job, really.
Well, there's still an enormous problem of unemployment over, I think I saw a figure one time of 89% unemployment rate with the Cheyenne-Arapaho in western Oklahoma. And is that, I would say, largely a prejudicial attitude on the part of the non-Indian population towards employing Native Americans?
Well, I don't know, you know, unemployed, I would say it's 100%. You're talking about unemployed having a job. But, you know, if you want somebody to throw the slop out, you can get 10 Indians to do that, you know, I mean, you know, that's just depending on what kind of job you're talking about, you know. There's, you can get somebody to dig ditches, and they put that in their figures as employable. But that's not unemployed, that's just common labor. A job is something you go from every day, not just when they need you, not when they need someone to throw out the trash or clean out the hog pen or whatever needs to be done that they wouldn't ordinarily do, you know. I don't know, you know, how they come up with these figures, you know. I would say it's 100% totally, except for, well, then I'm talking about 19. What year are you talking about?
Well, I'm either way.
Yeah. Well, in the 50s, you know, I never knew if anybody had a daily job. You know, there was a lot of us there that, in fact, we used to clean out these big tractor and trailers. You know, clean the minerals, unload beer, sugar. Just jobs that last 2-3 hours a day. You know, that's not employment.
That's not constant
No,
employment.
that's not constant employment.
Well, of course, today they stress education in order to, hopefully get land a better job and good pay. Do you see today the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe trying to stress an importance on education, and if so, how are they working towards that goal?
Well, the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe is it's one of the biggest goals for the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe to stress education, get better employment. But when they do get an education, they don't get a job. They have to leave the state. Not too long ago, we checked the employment bank of the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe for professional people, and we know we got them, but they don't live here in the state. They had to go elsewhere to find employment. For instance, the Department of Human Services had they in our 8-county jurisdiction checkerboard from Canadian County all the way to the Texas line in Beckham County. There's only one Indian employed in that jurisdiction, and I found out the reason for that is them jobs are patience jobs. If a job comes open, say in Clinton, it'd be up to Senator Kerr or House of Representative Bill Winterman, who gets that job.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying, if an Indian said, for instance, for me, if I started my goal of saying, well, I want to work for the Department of Human Services. I got a bachelor's degree, went on, got a whatever kind of degree you call them, and the job came open in Clinton. So ain't no way I can get that job if I wasn't in cahoots with Kerr or whoever, you know.
Mhm.
That's the way it is. I don't care how good a job it is, how good education you got, especially with the Department of Human Services, you ain't gonna get a job. You know, I didn't know that, but I know it now. Because we had 134 people apply for Department of Human Services jobs. Not a one of them got them. You know, there's something wrong when that many people apply and nobody gets a job.
Mhm.
But I know now why it is. That's all over the state.
It's just politics.
It's politics, yeah. Just about every state job is politics.
Do you think that you have to play the game and get
Yep.
more political?
Yeah, sure do.
Do you think that's going to be a way for Native Americans to
Well,
get in? And
I hate to say so, but yes, it is. You know, people don't like to hear things like that. Well, I ain't gonna go up there and play ball and guys. You know, I ain't gonna do that. You're gonna have to.
Mhm.
Not necessarily just play ball with them right there, but I mean, you know, there's things you have to do. You know, like if it wasn't, why? How come there's not? How come there's the EEO employment deals are not fulfilled?
Mhm.
Department of Human Services, they ain't got no Indians working up there. The lady at the OPM, not OPM, but the personnel at she said we'll fulfill our minority quota, and I opened that door and said, look out there. I said, what do you see out there? Is that filling it? You know, she opened that door and she looked out like that, and I said, take a look. Well, tell me what you see out there. Well, she took a look. That's not good.
Mhm. Well, now, when you graduated from high school in 1958, did you were you able to find any kind of work, or did you go into the military? Just
No,
Vietnam War?
I hightailed that just as fast as I could out of the state of Oklahoma.
Where'd you go?
California.
What'd you do out there?
I went to work for Fiberboard Paper Company
Mhm.
in Los Angeles, in San Francisco. But I didn't have no sense in there. I mean, I didn't know beans from buckshot. You know, I didn't do it because of, you know, you get a job, you do this, you do that. Mine was purely excitement, I guess. Because, you know, I never thought of the future. I never thought, well, I'm going to be this, I want to be that.
Mhm.
You know, they ask them today, what do you want to be when you grow up? Most people farming, postman, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Like for instance, they asked my brother, what do you want to be when you grow up? He was quiet for a long time. He finally said, I guess I want to be a man, I guess.
Mhm.
You mean, don't you want to be a fireman? Or he said, no, I just want to be a man. That's right.
Mhm.
You know. Of course, they might have changed nowadays. I don't know. Yeah, I guess they have, you know. But I never even give it a thought about being what I want to be when I grow up.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, did you ever think you'd become sort of a lobbyist for Indian causes in the state?
No, that was the furthest thing from my mind.
How did you get involved in that?
Through the Oklahoma Indian Affairs Commission. When Governor Bellman first came into office, he threatened to close the Oklahoma Indian Affairs Commission. And that's when we had to get on our fast war ponies and get him off at the path.
Why was he so interested in closing it?
Budget cut.
Budget cut?
Yeah.
This is back in his first administration in the 60s?
No, just here recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but see, I've been lobbying all this time, but I mean, on a hard push basis, you know. What I'm doing now, like I said before, the other interview, I didn't just start this yesterday or last year, year before, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I started in 1972,
Mhm.
you know, and that's a long time. I'm always pushing to get in this employment. So far, we've got a little bit, but not too much.
Mhm.
I mean, why, you know, it takes so long. They don't hire you. You ain't got no interest in here. know, how come you don't argue?
Well, we used to. I don't know why now, but we used to.
But I mean, on a permanent basis, I mean.
What were some of the first issues that you got involved with when you started back in '72? The American Indian movement was big then.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to deal with the American Indian movement. Ours was just Indian involvement in well, politics, I guess. In 1972, I was with the Native American Center then. In our 5-year plan, we called for an Indian to be elected or to be appointed to an elected post. So we got Art Hill, the first Indian to ever be elected to the Oklahoma City School Board, District 89. And when he decided to run for the Oklahoma City School Board, well, he had about 5 people under consideration as to who would be his campaign manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up being his campaign manager. Got him elected in 1972.
How long did he serve?
Well, till he got defeated 4 years later.
I see.
Anyway, we got him elected in 1970. I was his campaign manager.
Have there been any
With no experience. Yeah.
Have there been any Native Americans who've been elected to statewide office in recent years?
Yes, Kelly Haney,
That's
Senator Haney, and there might be some that's 1/4 or more degree, but other than that, I don't think so.
I know that Senator Haney is very active in promoting Native American issues and culture in Oklahoma, but has he been very successful in trying to sway the opinion of his fellow legislators in trying to improve the conditions, or?
Well, when he first started, he wasn't very successful, but here recently he has, due to the Senate Bill 212 or 210, Senate Bill 210. That calls for anybody that claims to be Indian, you have to be able to prove it nowadays. And there's a lot of people that say, Cherokee, this, but if you can't prove it, you ain't.
You don't have to tell me. We haven't come in here every day.
But I think that was a major victory for Indians.
I think so too.
Because, like I was saying, in the 8-county jurisdiction of the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe, western Oklahoma, there was, when I'd done a computer check on the how many Native Americans were employed, not necessarily Cheyennes, but Native Americans, they were employed with the Department of Human Services. There was actually 2. So when the department sent out their paper saying, we need proof of your CDIB, the guy been saying he's Indian all along, decided he didn't want to be no Indian, or he couldn't prove it. So therefore he wasn't no Indian. And we always knew that.
Well, I don't know what the fascination is, why people think that trying to get on any Indian role, any tribal affiliation,
I think,
is going to be give them money.
One of the big things is this is just my own idea, but a lot of them think they're going to start getting money.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to start getting money, and that's a myth. I think it started in March. Well, I'm just going by what maybe 1922. And this had to deal with my father's property. I've been tracing my father's property back. And in 1922, they started long-term leasing these Indian lands, and they got monthly checks, and that's where the myth came in. You get checks every month from the government, but it wasn't. They just a free hand. It was their own money that they were getting. But a lot of people didn't. Didn't think of that. So that's I traced my father's money, lease and everything back to how it was sold, who bought it, and stuff like that. And I talked to Bureau of Indian Affairs official, and he said, well, we might have been looking after his best interest. And that's where that's kind of a lot of these people think they can prove they're Indian. Well, they'll start getting checks every month, and they'll start getting this and that. Yeah, full blood Cheyenne. I don't get nothing. See how I do it. Well, I got to put cat marks up.
Yeah,
But I mean, you know, as far as a lot of them just think, well, you get check and you get this and that. But it's not.
in other words, they want something for nothing, and
That's
they
right.
think they can get it that way.
By proving that they're.
That's what most of our clientele coming in here think that's what they're going to do, and
You know, my cousin used to work at this youth center over at Clinton. He's telling me, well, we had calls, people saying, I want Cherokee, and I want to know, when and where can I go pick up my money for some Cherokee? He said, man, I'm full-blooded Cheyenne. You tell me, we both go. But I mean, things like that, that's it, you know. It didn't used to be like that, you know. Now, everybody wants to be Indian. I mean, you hardly ever see anybody say, I'm part black. If it is, it's very far and in between. And it's only done that because of a reason. I think it was in the paper not too long ago, two people claimed they applied for a job, and they both made failing scores for the fire department. So they came back and claimed they was black, and they got hired. See, that was for a purpose, you know. A lot of these are maybe trying to claim Indian for a purpose to either get something, probably the money they think they got, you know.
well, there's this federal program of minority status. They can get federal grant money or construction work or something like that has a federal program that if they can prove their relationship with a particular Indian tribe, they're given preferential treatment.
Oh yeah, well that's just like this was an Indian organization right here, and there was some jobs coming up with Indian preference. They would get first choice at. Even if they did make a low score, even if there was such thing as take us, there he is, but even if they had to take a test and did make a low score, and some white person make 100 and they make 75 or 50, but they were full-blooded Indian. This is an Indian organization. Indian preference comes in there. It's okay. I want to do.
Now, when did you return back to Oklahoma from California?
When did I return? 60.
1960. Did you live here in Oklahoma
Yeah.
City? From that time, when did you become involved at the Native American Center?
1972.
1972.
Yeah, I
Was
at
that when it was formed, or
No, it was formed way back. It's formed way back. I don't know, quite a while before that. It was just a small, just a ideal, and then they just got together and they slowly. I was out of a powwow over at the South. Not the South Community. When they first opened, I think it was South Community, and they asked me if I wanted to be on the board of directors, and I said, well, what do I do? Well, you have to. I was appointed first. Or was I? No, I had to run for election. So I said, you just get 20 names, or have somebody nominate you from the floor. So I got elected to the Native American Center Board of Directors, and I got elected every year for the last 15 years.
Are you still on the?
No, I'm not running anymore. Okay. Nothing to do with them. Nothing to do with Native American Center anymore.
Was there a
internal
problem?
Internal conflict.
They seem to have had a lot of problems lately.
Oh yeah, they got more problems they can handle. And the ones that actually brought it up from the ground are no longer there. Nobody.
Really?
Not a soul there. That's how I got involved in this. As time went on, I went done this, that, and that. I've been on every board, every organization here in Oklahoma City. I was chairman of the Willard neighborhood for many years. I got them incorporated. got them permanent place to have meetings. Before that, they used to just meet anyway. Then I got them a permanent place. And they say that Willard neighborhood, that Willard school, that Willard neighborhood's been around. It's downtown. Been around for many years. Early 1900s. But nobody never stopped really thinking of getting incorporated. And now I got incorporated. To have picnics. I don't know what they're doing nowadays. Go over and then I went to Community Action, because I got formed the Community Action Board of Directors. Oh, from there, I just done everything. Even some federal appointments too.
Really? Now, have you had any political connection or office with the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe?
No.
How would you?
Well, I'm the lobbyist now for them. But I mean, you said political.
Yeah, what, you've never run for
No.
office?
Oh yeah, I did too. Yeah, I ran for office.
Oh, have you?
Got beat by one Liza vote.
Oh, really?
One vote.
Well, now, when did you run for?
I can't remember. About 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
Yeah. No, 8 years ago.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
Do you recall who beat you out?
Wisdom Nibs.
Wisdom
Yeah.
Nibs later became chairman of
Yeah.
the tribe. You're, you have very many, a lot of projects that you're interested in, and one of them is this project that you're hoping to get a grant for on getting the biographical sketches of the various
chiefs,
tribal chairmen. Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of projects right now. Like I'm working on that. I'm working with the National Congress of American Indians. I'm on their committees. They set up committees. And I'm on the information, and then I'm on various others doing everything.
Now you said earlier before the interview began that they were going to be meeting here in
Yeah.
Oklahoma.
This is the first. The National Congress of American Indians is one of the oldest organizations in the United States, and they're going to meet here in October from the 1st to the 6th. And that's going to be a historical thing for Oklahoma. A lot of people don't look at it like that, but we do, and I do.
Sure. I think it's very major. Can anyone attend, or is
Oh yeah, anybody can attend. And in fact, it's most conventions. It's a convention, but it's an actual convention. You don't just call up and say, "Well, we're gonna have a convention." The Chamber of Commerce gets involved, and in fact, they're the ones that help us get the NCAI moved to Oklahoma. We're working with the Chamber of Commerce and the City of Oklahoma City and various other organizations. Also, I'm on the budget committee of the National Advisory Council. Of the National Congress of American Indians.
Do you think the success of Red Earth that has gone on the last 2 years has helped the Chamber of Commerce realize the potential of Native American?
Yeah, it realizes, but they haven't utilized. We haven't utilized it. They have, because they got the pull and the power to do that, and we haven't. Like what I'm saying, we is there's anything like that could put Indians to work in the tourism-related field, but we can't do it without the bosses okay, and that's Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Department, various other departments, like for instance, these information centers. They could easily put an Indian person in each one of them.
Sure.
But they won't.
Again, it's politics.
It all boils down to politics. And even in this place, an Indian interview, like I brought out last time, could do that. And the Department of Tourism, they need an Indian desk. Department of Human Services, they need a large Indian, because a lot of people deal with Indians deal with the Department of Human Services. They could just do better with an Indian to Indian. They realize it. We always knew it. now that it's there, you gotta have a little pull. You gotta do something for somebody in order to get some. I'll get some.
There's a project that Justice Yvonne Cogger of the Supreme Court has been working on and trying to develop the old Seeger Indian School into a native shrine and cultural heritage center out there, art center and so forth. And of course they want the building restored, which takes money.
Well, we got a $10,000 grant for that, for stabilizing the roof. But that $10,000, that's all it's gonna do, stabilize the roof. They need more money than that.
Oh yeah, it's going to take quite a bit of money to restore it to its original form.
And there again, politics moving in there. You know, they want somebody to do it, and we want somebody to do it. And, you know,
But
more
how-
likely they're going to win because, you know.
What's the viewpoint of the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe, though? How do they see it? Are they just as interested in seeing that become a cultural heritage center? Or are they still, I know they're caught up with the Fort Reno business and...
About before the Fort Reno acted, well, it's always been there, but I mean, actually, you know, the people I talked to, they was real interested in it, and as because of the Fort Reno thing, it's kind of
pushed it
to the side. So I don't know how it is now. But the Fort Reno thing is.
Well, what do you think is going to be the outcome on Fort Reno?
Well, as I stated before in the last interview, we're going to eventually get it back. Again, you have to play politics. I mean, you got to play politics.
Well, does the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe have any rapport with Congressman English, who represents that district?
I thought they did. They thought they did, but apparently they didn't.
Really?
Because when they made their presentation to him, he looked at the presentation and all everything. He said, "That's a good presentation, but you're knocking on the wrong door." But we know darn it well that's the door we need to be knocking on.
Well, sure, because he's the one that's going to represent, and if he's going to be the one to, he's going to have to be the one that's going to have to push it because it's in his district.
That's right, but he won't.
So, in other words, he's anti-Native American?
He must be. He never come out and say that, but he must be. Just by, you know, there's, you know, of course this is just my own thinking, but you know, you can tell by just the way people do things that they don't do this, they don't do that. You know, had he wanted to help, he'd say, well, yeah, you know, although that's not my part of the deal, but I'll help you. But they don't. He didn't say that. He just said you're knocking on the wrong door.
Did he say whose door you should be knocking on?
Well, they should have asked. You know, had I been there, I said, well, tell us whose door to knock on. We'll do a knock on that door. You know. But I found out the Schlocko, the Cherokee tribe, the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe at one time, and indeed they still are, one of them, were in the same situation. Same situation. But only theirs was the Schlocko Indian school. And he helped them on that one. And through a joint resolution, him and Sinehorn and Jones and all them other congressmen. He could do the same for them. But he did. But they're going the 12th. When is the 12th?
A couple of days.
They're going up to Washington D.C. They're going to meet with the congressional delegation. Apparently they're going to meet Bush.
Oh really?
I guess the Cheyenne-Arapaho tribe.
Have they been able to determine what President Bush's attitude towards Native Americans is yet?
Not yet. Well, we haven't. I haven't. And I'm right up on top of everything. From what I see, he's probably in the policy statement was the policy statement that was the one Nixon used in 1972. You know, he didn't say much, but Nixon done a lot of people didn't like Nixon, but he done more for Indians than any other president. You know, although he didn't say I'm going to do this for you and I'm going to do that for you, he just didn't say that he was going to do this and do that. He done it. Yeah, he did it. So, well, they're going to meet with anyway. That's right. You know, he's supposed to help them get that Fort Reno back. Yeah, he's from Hawaii, Saturday.
Oh, in a way.
Yeah.
Well, the there's just many issues that are confronting not only the Cheyenne but other tribes in Oklahoma, not just Oklahoma, but the other highly populated like California and Arizona that have Indian
Problems?
problems and
Yeah, there's a. I was on the Dukakis Benson State campaign staff, and I got a call from Hooper Urock. Is it Hooper Urock? I think they were going to be terminated. I don't know whether they are. President Reagan was going to terminate.
mm-hmm.
I don't know whether. I told them, man, I ain't nothing I can do about it, really. They thought I could do something about it, but I got a call from San Francisco, high-powered attorney. Well, he faxed me a bunch of stuff. Next day, I had a Urock lady come see me. They thought I could do it. I said, man, I'm just employee like everybody else. You know, they thought I could do that. I said,
Well, what is your thoughts on termination?
that's it. For India.
Many of them simply won't be able to function if.
Yep. They always say self-determination, but when they try to self-determinate, the state gets in the way and says, well, wait a minute, man. You can't do that without having to do this and do that. They need to, they really do need to get on their own, but not just be cut off and say, get out of here, that's not good.
Do you think?
Of course, they might be able to, at a step, gradual, as time goes on, but not just, you're terminated, that's it. Don't call me no more. I mean, you want something, you grow it yourself, or
Well, and do you think that, or do you have any idea that Bush might retain Ross Swimmer?
oh no, he's done gone. So Ross Swimmer's done gone.
He's already out?
Oh yeah, they done got a new one.
Who is it?
Lujan, some guy named Lujan from New Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Swimmer's done gone. He resigned January 1st. Well, his resignation was effective January.
Let's see, we hadn't heard anything back here.
Yeah, he's gone. He's been replaced with another person. I don't know what tribe that. Pueblo, I think it's Pueblo. Well, one of the bands of the Pueblo. I don't know which one.
Well, do you have any other comments that you'd like to make? Because I think I've run out about as many questions as I can think of.
Well, the only comment I'd like to make is I would like to see Indian treated as an equal in everything. I know that'll never happen. It's supposed to have happened in 1968 with our Civil Rights Act. That didn't happen. And Dr. King's Washington speech. What kind of speech was that? Well, he made that famous speech.
Oh, you mean March on Washington?
Yeah. He called for cooperation. That didn't happen yet. It happens in a few places.
I think one way that it would, the Native Americans of this country can be a very powerful voting bloc if they just get more political.
We're getting political.
And if they get more that way, I think they'd get more of their dreams come to.
We are getting political now. During the Dukakis Benson campaign, I headed up the coordinated the Indian part of it. After it was over, well, we continued. We would continue updating. We're going to form an Indian organization. Well, we're not formed, but we're going to just enlarge it and make it more. We're going to make a political bloc here in Oklahoma City, and then eventually go Oklahoma wide. We need to get politically strong. We are.
It's the
All
only
right,
way.
we will.
It's the only way.
For the governor's race, for the senatorial race, and any other race that comes along. You know, we need to start scratching back so they can start scratching our backs.
Well, you make your voices heard, you become a powerful voting bloc, politicians have to sit up and take
That's
notice.
right. You're right.
And that's the only way it's going to happen. That's the only way people now, politicians, listen to the blacks, because they came together
And vote.
and started voting and became a very powerful voting bloc. And that's the only way the Native Americans of this country are going to be able to get on equal footing eventually, is if they get more involved in the politics. I guarantee you, if the Cheyenne-Arapahos of western Oklahoma got more vocal in their politics, especially when it came to the congressional race, I'm sure that a certain congressman who's been out there for so many years would sit up and take notice.
We should have done that. We should have done that. Let me give you one good example. Oklahoma City, Oklahoma has one of the largest Indian population, maybe next to California. I'm talking about Oklahoma City. There's 10 Indian voter registrars. Okay, about, you know, that's not enough. That's not enough. In fact, I'm one of them, but I haven't got time to be one. In fact, I just made one by one of these big wheels up here. He thought I was trying to be a voter registrar.
Mm-hmm.
What I was trying to do is get somebody else a voter registrar, but you know, he made me. But we need them. We need voter registrars. But they want to pull them down here.
That's the only way.
How you gonna? We're gonna do it though. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
That's good.
1989, 1990, 91, 92. We're gonna be one of the. It's called the Central Oklahoma Indian Coalition. What it's called. Central Oklahoma Indian Coalition. It's a political arm of the Native American Center. And at this present time, I'm ahead of it. And I'll stay ahead of it.
We just have to keep pushing.
I'm pushing. Because it's hard you can push.
Well, thanks again, Mr. Big Horse. We really appreciate you coming by to give us your thoughts and added information for our collection, because this is very important to have interviews of this kind, so these kinds of issues and historical events of Native Americans and the Cheyenne people in particular can be researched as time goes on. Thanks again.